Hello, this is teddygaming. Welcome back to another breakdown video, and in this first one we'll be looking at the tmnt, the RW ongoing series, issue 139. Now this issue is going to be a really big and interesting issue, just because this issue is going to be the last issue that's going to be tied into the Armageddon game, and also this one could potentially be setting things up for the future, and could potentially change everything for the series in a good way or bad way. Now this issue is going to be really interesting for those factors, but I do think that also with everything that's going on within this issue, it's going to be a really big issue, not to mention with the description which to give out, it's all being like the rest of them where, you know, they reveal stuff but at the same time, it's not really hardly anything that's really worthy to talk about. So I thought this issue is going to be a really big and amazing one, so yeah, let's actually read the description for this issue. Okay, so the description for this issue goes as follows. Enter the endgame. A former enemy returns to offer the turtles one last chance to stop the Rat King before his plans conceal and all hope is lost. As the team regroups, secrets are revealed, terrible truths confronted, and impossible decisions are faced. Plus, when the godlike being of the Phantom are the last fools to act against their wayward brother, will they realise they've delayed too long? As the Armageddon game enters its end stage, Leo, Donnie, Mikey, Raph and Jenny will discover they have no one else to rely on but each other. Oh boy, this description is really interesting. On the one hand, they don't reveal anything, and I must admit I'm really grateful for that they don't actually reveal any type of spoilers and stuff like that. And normally when they don't really reveal anything too big, in a way, that normally means that something really big is going to be happening. And I do feel as though that this could potentially be like the next big issue that could potentially change everything. And I must admit, I'm really looking forward to that because, you know, there's so much that could potentially happen with this and stuff like that. But on the other hand, I do feel as though it would be a lot more interesting to actually get some little details about this issue. Just because even though this is going to be the next big issue, I feel as though there's not really too much in here that basically set things up for this issue, other than basically already, I'll say that there's a lot of stuff in here that we knew was going to happen, such as like Kitsune returning, the Phantoms getting involved. There's all stuff in here that I would say we already knew that was going to happen, it was just a matter of like when, and now that I know that's going to be happening in this issue, is interesting, but at the same time, I would have preferred a little bit more new details. Okay, so the first thing to talk about is the fact that Toru is going to be working with an old enemy, and which is quite clearly Kitsune, just because she's been out of the Armageddon game for quite a while, and she's even a prominent member on the cover for issue 139, which I must admit is just indicating towards her just being the next enemy that Toru is going to be working with. And I must admit, I do think it's going to be really interesting, just because Toru haven't really worked with her before, and the Turtles haven't really spoken to her much, or haven't really spoken to her since issue 100. Wow, that's been quite a while. So, you know, there's a lot of things which I could potentially see be quite interesting. But I also think that due to Shredder being good, this could potentially, I don't know, basically convince Turtles to work with her because of all that. So I feel so there could be some really interesting things here, but at the same time, I'm not too sure what to make of it, and at the same time, with Kitsune, I just don't really care about her character all too much, so, you know, it'll be interesting nonetheless, but I don't really care about the story really. Okay, the next thing is to talk about is the Phantoms, and it feels as though that they've been, or like they've realised they've been delaying it too long to act, and I don't really know what to really say of this. On the one hand, maybe yes they have, but on the other hand, maybe not. In the past, I would have said that maybe they should have acted a bit sooner, or maybe they should do stuff and stuff like that, or maybe they should have waited to the last issue. But I must admit, with how things are going in the comics, as well as with the past description breakdowns, I must admit things have been taking a really drastic turn for the worse and better for some cases, with some stories, for certain characters, and it's really changing the direction of the story for this whole Armageddon game, to the point where I don't really know where if maybe the Phantoms have been delaying it too long to act. So on the one hand I feel so maybe yes they might have, because you know things are going wrong, but on the other hand a lot's changed since this whole game started. Okay, the next thing to talk about is the fact that Toru is going to be getting some secrets and also some truths. Now, I do feel as though this is honestly the most interesting part about the description, just because this could honestly mean pretty much anything really in terms of what characters could be saying these truths, secrets and stuff like that. I wouldn't be too surprised if maybe it could be one of the villains and something like that, like within the true, I don't know, like the true plans for this whole game and stuff like that, or something along those lines. I don't really see him being any of the good guys. Maybe it could have something to do with the Foot Clan within themselves and stuff like that, with the Alliance. So, you know, I feel like there's a lot of really interesting things to really break down here in terms of like what it could potentially be. But at the same time, because it's tumbles, you don't really know what to really expect. So I'm really interested to see where this could potentially go. But at the same time, I'm not too sure if I want to know these truths, because, you know, sometimes sometimes truths are better left like secret. So who really knows where this could all go. Now for the covers themselves, which are really interesting. So let's take a look at the 110 variants, and it's interesting. We can see Mikey doing a podium pose, and you know, it's alright. I can't really say anything other than that. I do feel as though that maybe this was actually, I don't know, a bit more action packed, or just something a bit more. I'm just not too sure what really to make of it. It's just Mikey in a statue pose, which is cool, but what else can I really say about it? And the main cover for this issue is a little bit more interesting, as you get to see Kitsune in the background holding her hand out with the 5 turtles, and this is really interesting because on the one hand they don't reveal anything, which I must admit is also again really cool, and I must admit the artwork here is really cool as well. The other hand is, well, I don't really know what else to really say about this. It's really cool artwork, but I can't really say much more than that. The one thing which I would like to say is that I do feel as though that with this artwork, with the turtles, I do feel as though that maybe the weapons are a bit too big. It really does give me vibes of the Mutant Melee TMNT games, with how big the weapons were in that game. It really is really giving me those kind of vibes, and I can't tell if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but either way it's like that. And overall the artwork is really nice. I just do think that maybe Mikey's nunchuck is a bit too big, but yeah. But yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. I'm quite interested to hear what you say about this in the comment section below, with certain stuff, with like, certain characters, certain villains, and certain things which could potentially be setting up. Because it feels though that this issue is going to be the next big one, and it's really interesting me. So yeah, that's going to be it for today, guys. If you do this one, please share, like, subscribe, and all stuff. Goodbye, yo, bye.